Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the EEARSS Podcast, produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Frank. That is Cindy. That is Bill. I said your name in opposite directions this time, just to kind of mix things up a little bit.
You did. What was that all about?
I don't know.
He's trying to throw us off.
You're doing a great job.
Aw, that was the nicest thing you guys have said about me today. So what's new and exciting, y'all? I just realized the weird grimace this guy has on his face. It's not me, but this guy.
No, the dog. Yeah,
he's got the crooked jaw thing going on.
He does. He does. He looks like maybe he's had some problems.
Yeah, well,
we'll see.
Maybe we can ask our guest today if she can help him with that situation.
Poor dog's had a stroke.
Yes. You know what I mean?
He's not well.
Maybe we can help her.
Yes,
ask her if she can help out with that
Although,
situation.
she's not going to be able to see him, so, that's
true. I can send her a picture. I can text her a picture.
Oh, you could. You could send her a picture. There we go.
And then ask her advice live on the air.
on this bobblehead dog that we have.
Oh, my garage.
What should we do?
Week is going fair to Midland?
Well, the week is over, my friend. It's Friday.
Yeah, so those of you...
For us. Those of you at home, it may be Wednesday or so.
It's just interesting to me, because my schedules never went by the normal Monday to Friday. So I just... people say it's Friday. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's true, yeah, because you're working all the time or you pick your day off. No, dude, I live my life Monday to Friday by bells. Okay?
You do. Yes, sir.
There are bells. It tells me when I can eat, when I can go to the bathroom. All of that is all done by bells.
Do you miss the bells when you're at home?
No, not at all.
Do you hear a bell at home sometimes and it makes you flinch?
No, actually from my front yard, the elementary school down the road, you can hear their bells. And I'm like, stop it. No, I don't miss the bells at all. It takes me a little while to get used to them again.
Okay.
They're here and you're used to it and the kids are all used to it. One day in our show in Terrier TV, we played a thing that we had recorded earlier and accidentally the bells had rung in the background. And half the school got up and left their room.
No.
And it was only 5 minutes into the block. There's no reason you should have left. But half the school, they had to get on the PA and say, that was not the bell. Get back.
There's a dog that comes to mind.
Yes, there you go.
There's a dog that comes to mind with that story. I mean, nobody's salivating, but there's a dog that comes to mind with that story.
Oh, you're talking about Pavlov.
Yes,
okay.
It all goes back to a dog.
I get it now. Yeah, that's great.
My puppy went for her last set of shots yesterday.
Oh, you could be a collie?
Yes, but
puppy?
It actually is a Sheltie.
It is a Sheltie.
Yep,
okay,
so
we've decided that.
Dr. Berger looked at it and he's like, oh no, yeah, it actually is going to be a Sheltie.
So it's just a bigger Sheltie.
She's got a big square head, but yeah, she's a beautiful dog.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's actually a really elongated head, being a Sheltie. You got a really long nose, but
okay.
It's just she hasn't grown into her body yet, so she's got this big Sheltie head, like a normal sized Sheltie head, and just like a really small, scraggly body with odd fur.
So now are the other dogs accepting her?
Yeah, they're the shunning is off, and now there's like a mix of playing, where she was almost kind of bullying one of them for a while, and he finally went, no, I'm sorry, I'm not being nice to you anymore.
Right.
We're going at it. Like we want to.
It's about to get real.
Yeah, like the most athletic little dog in the world, but it's weird having the three older ones who are 11 and 12, and then this little one that's just like wee all the time, just like full out, just like full throttle, pedal to the metal all the time, like running up the couch, running on the side of the walls, like just Joker's nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's puppies. I mean,
it's impressive. Yeah, it's impressive. All right, so you all ready to chat with our guest today?
Yeah, I am.
So,
Cindy's not. Cindy's gonna boycott us.
I'm ready to listen.
Are you ready? You'll enjoy our guest. She's pretty awesome. So today on the podcast, we are joined by Dr. Tina Grove. Tina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
So, man, me and you met for the first time earlier this year, correct?
That is, I think it was only a few months ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, it hadn't been that long ago, but at the same time, it seems like it was years ago.
Right.
There's some people you meet that you just have that immediate connection with, and you were for sure one of those people. Tell our listeners a little bit about what you do and where you're at.
Okay, so I am currently the medical director at Animal Wellness Center in Saint Augustine. We are a small animal private practice, offers general practice services to the community in Saint Augustine.
Okay. How do you guys like St. Augustine? How long you been up there?
So I actually split my time between St. Augustine and Gainesville. My husband lived in St. Augustine for quite some time, and we kind of joke around. We've got our country house is like the weekend house, and the St. Augustine beach house is like the work house. But we love the area. We love being there.
There you go. I know you've been a huge blessing to us. I remember you reaching out to me a while back and asking how you could be involved and how you could help. And man, it's just you guys have been a huge blessing to everything we've done. So thank you a ton for that. And you were telling me your background kind of goes back to a bunch of different things. I mean, you come from some very prestigious universities. You've kind of done a little bit of research on all kinds of interesting things. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Oh, sure. When I think of my background, I'm like, prestigious is one of those words that kind of embarrasses me. But
there's nothing wrong with being humble.
I grew up in Connecticut and then ended up going to vet school at Tufts University up in Massachusetts. I ended up I had an interest in lab animal medicine, which is on the biomedical research side of things. And I got a dual master's in laboratory animal sciences while I was at Tufts. And then I did a residency in comparative medicine at Yale University in Connecticut. And then sort of slowly worked my way down the East Coast in my subsequent employment until I made a leap from New Jersey to Florida about 8 or 9 years ago.
Was that a big culture shock? I mean, you go from snow to no snow. That's gotta be a big culture shock.
Yeah, the weather definitely culture shock. Although it's funny, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be down here in terms of the heat. Like, it's insane to say. They definitely were in the thick of like you're going to melt in the middle of summer. But a lot of people are like, you're not going to survive down there. You're going to be one of those halfbacks that goes to North Carolina, and it's not been too terrible.
So we had a vet on not too long ago, and I was comparing veterinary medicine to Game of Thrones. You ever watch Game of Thrones?
I have not.
Okay, so they have these guys in Game of Thrones that they call Meisters. Is it a Meister? Meisters. I can't keep track of what the heck it's called. Gee whiz. I mentioned the thing and then I somehow still butcher it. But they got these guys that walk around in these like, they're not capes, they're robes, right?
They're robes.
They're robes, and they have these big chains wrapped around them. And on their chains, they have all these little. What are these things? Are
they have links on the chain.
They have links on the chains, and each link on the. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this story. And Cindy's losing it. They have links in these chains, and each link on the chain is for a different mastery that they've accomplished. And veterinary medicine, to me, makes me think of that, because it's like you guys wear so many hats and have so many things going on, and your background is so rich that it's like you don't ever know if it's going to be a snake that comes in the door, or somebody's guinea pig, or their dog, or their cat, or a horse, or it's just, how in the world do you guys keep track of all this stuff? It's mind-boggling to me. I'm keeping track of, reptiles for the most part, with an occasional possum that jumps on my shoulder. But it's just thinking about the medical, the trying to medically keep track of all these guys. Your library must just be insane.
It's one of those things that's both exciting and keeps veterinary medicine interesting, as well as terrifying. That it is a constant learning experience, and you have to be open to learning something new. I'm a firm believer, if I didn't learn something new today, it was not a useful day. So, yeah, it can be exciting and terrifying at the same time. And I love that you can always learn. You never know everything. There's always an opportunity to learn something new.
So I know you have a lot of you do a couple side things too. You have a couple side hustles. You have a business where you guys do a couple other things. Can you tell us about that as well?
Oh gosh, apparently I get bored easily. So I have.
I don't think it's that at all. I think it's
that's one way of looking at it. I guess. Yeah.
I think it's called being driven. But yeah, I get you.
So before I took this position at Animal Wellness Center, I did strictly relief work. So I have my own consulting business where I either do relief work in private practice capacity, or I also do consulting or longer gigs working for various institutions. I have a little horse training side business.
Wow.
And I also have, I recently started, so one of the things that I do is if owners relinquish pets for medical reasons, or if there's a homeless pet that needs medical assistance, I'll oftentimes take those on as my own little personal project and then once they're fixed up, find them a new home. And I do all of that out of my own pocket. So in order to subsidize that, I started a little pre-loved luxury handbag business to sell those bags and then use the proceeds from that to help pay for the expenses for those animals.
That is amazing.
Hopefully it becomes amazing. It's a little slow to start.
Now, do you have like a website for it or something? Or are you doing it on Etsy, or what are you doing?
I have a shop on Etsy and eBay for that one.
Okay.
And I'm on Instagram.
Tina, you never told me the whole story behind that. I didn't know the whole story behind that.
What, does she have to check stuff out with you?
No,
first?
no. I would have. I share stuff that she
Run
puts
it
on.
by him first.
I share stuff that she puts on Instagram all the time because some of these things are really flippin' cool.
Okay. Okay.
And I had no idea that it was that's what the funding was being used for. Dag nabbit, I'll start sharing stuff every time you put something up there. Now I'm sorry. I feel bad.
No, thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's fun to do, right? It's a fun little hobby. I certainly keep a few pieces for myself. It's not like it's completely selfless. But yeah, then it was like, hey, I could buy pieces, resell them, and this is a nice way that I could subsidize this rather than making my husband crazy and just pulling it out of our own personal savings.
So the clinic you guys work in up there now, tell us a little bit about the everyday up there for you.
So, like I said, general practice, predominantly small animals, although I do see some exotics. We are a 2-doctor practice, although it's usually a single doctor day. There's 2 of us on Wednesdays, 1 doctor on every other day. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And we offer services that run the gamut from general practice. Like you mentioned, veterinarians have to wear multiple hats. So it's everything from your basic wellness, vaccines, puppy and kitten visits, to geriatric care, internal medicine cases, all the way to some emergencies. I'm always a little wary to say true emergency clinic. That is a whole different ball of wax, but certainly we will address emergencies that walk in our door.
How often do people ask you what your favorite animal to work with is? Because I feel like it's a very unfair question to ask a veterinarian.
I don't get asked very often, and honestly, I don't know the answer.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I don't actually know the answer.
Now, you said you have a passion for exotics. Can you tell us a bit about that too?
Sure. So my background is actually predominantly with non-human primates. So when I moved to Florida, this was part of the culture shock, right? So up Connecticut, New Jersey, I'm sure there are people that own exotic animals, but down here in Florida, it's far more commonplace. And non-human primate people also, like, you don't have to say anything and they will just find you. And somehow somebody figured out that I can take care of monkeys, and they started tracking me down.
It's like a threat.
I don't have to advertise for this, and they will find you. And they're like, great, a doctor will take care of my monkey.
Yeah, I had somebody one time tell me that you would never know how many people actually had monkeys. Like it's a very
insane.
common thing. I'm like, I don't hear about this stuff.
Yeah, very commonplace down here to own a variety of exotics. Obviously, most of the clients that I work with exotics have non-human primates, but like one of my really great clients, she'll call me with, I had some baby porcupines she needed health certificates for.
What?
So yeah, I get to see some crazy stuff.
Porcupines?
I didn't know that was an option.
Yep.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing either.
Yeah.
Do we have porcupines in Florida? I should know the answer to this.
You should.
I was going to
yes.
say, you probably know better than me.
I thought I saw a porcupine skeleton one time, but I don't know. It seems like a weird animal. Yeah, I guess that would be an exotic. That's a daggum porcupines for a pet. That blows my mind.
One of my nieces had a hedgehog. Isn't that kind of similar?
I think maybe they're cousins, but they're not the same critter by
right.
means.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say they were the same critters. I mean, similar.
I don't think.
I don't know. We could ask the doctor.
I'm gonna say a
He was on
hedgehog
the
can
phone
get.
with us.
I think
We
a
do know
hedgehog can
somebody.
get
Yeah.
pokey, can't they? But I don't think they're a porcupine.
I don't know. What do you say?
I don't think they shoot their needles the same way that the porcupine will, but you can certainly get poked by them.
Okay.
Now I just want to go see a porcupine.
I could probably make that arrangement.
Oh
you if
yes,
you want
okay.
it.
I'm very excited. Yes, I would like that. That's unbelievable. So, how many primates do you think your office sees throughout the course of a year?
My current office, I'm trying to avoid it currently because we are in a growth phase, and it's one of those things I always want to make sure that I provide gold standard care to every patient that walks in the door. some of my non-human primate clients are like banging down the doors, and I'm like, listen, I got to get all the supplies I need to provide the level of care to these guys that I want to be able to provide to them. So I try to keep it to a minimum right now while we're going through this growth phase, so that I can make sure that I have everything I need to provide them the level of care that I want.
I gotcha. So let's go back in time here a little bit. When you were younger, when did you figure out that veterinary medicine was a thing for you? Were you one of those that at an early age went, oh man, I want to help animals?
I know I was at least 6 years old, and the reason is, I don't know if you guys, so I was born in the 80s, and we had like those activity books that you would go and write things, when I was 6 years old, this is what I wanted to be when I grew up, and this is my favorite color, and those sorts of things. And I actually have the book that says when I want to be an animal doctor when I grow up.
Aww.
So pretty much forever.
Do you remember a specific animal that kind of drove you there, or was it just animals in general?
Probably animals in general, but horses have been a big part of my life since I was very young. So that probably had a large influence.
Yeah, I'm looking at your picture up here, and you're on a horse. You guys own some horses?
I have two. Yep, I have 2 quarter horses.
And you said you do barrel racing too, also, yes?
Yes. Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about barrel racing? So I know I've called some barrel races. I've announced some barrel races.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of fun. It's maybe the most fun thing to announce there is.
Oh, wow.
It's a blast. So yeah, tell us a little bit about barrel
I'm
racing.
just wondering what she doesn't do, because right now I feel like an underachiever.
I suck at any sports that require a ball and a stick. That's what I'm terrible at.
You're in good company.
Like baseball, ball, stick, not going to work.
Then there's lacrosse. That makes no sense either, but that's a whole different story.
I definitely couldn't do that one either. I would miss the ball every time. So barrel race, so I actually started riding when I was very young and started in the hunter-jumper world, did that for the majority of my young years. And then when I went to college and into vet school, my father was into reining horses. So I transitioned into the reining world, and I dabbled in some dressage in between there as well. And
what's a reining horse? What is that?
Reining?
Yeah.
So it's a Western style discipline that has kind of taken some of the talents that you need to have a horse do working cattle in the field and made it very fancy. And so it's a kind of the dressage version of the Western world, where they do a pattern that involves sliding stops and big and small circles, fast spins. It's a very cool sport. If you ever have the opportunity to watch that, it's almost as exciting as barrel racing.
I saw it, something like that on Yellowstone.
That's what I was fixing to say. I think I saw something like that on Yellowstone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I can't remember the guy who's the producer of the show. I think he actually owns reining horses. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
but
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so there's like a scene where they put that young troublemaker on a horse, and they're like, try not to fall off. And so those are all reining horses.
Oh, okay.
And there was another word you used a second ago too, but I already lost track of it because I was like, what in the world does that mean? Dressage. What is dressage?
So dressage, have you guys seen the video? Oh gosh. Wow, I'm totally blanking on names. Who's the rapper that's like best friends with Martha Stewart?
Snoop.
Oh, Snoop, yeah.
Snoop Dogg, yes.
Dogg,
There's Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart, and they're talking about the horse that's crip walking.
What?
Oh.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys got to find this video. It's hysterical. But anyway, it's again a very fancy English discipline where there's a pattern that you follow, and the horse has to execute a number of maneuvers. So, very cool discipline. But yeah, you got to watch that clip because I think they were commenting on disciplines that were in the Olympics.
Okay.
So it was pretty high level as well.
I see this stuff with horses, and I'm like, man, I couldn't train. I can't even imagine somebody trying to train a dog to do that. But a horse just goes through it, and it looks like a everyday kind of thing. You know, you're like it looks very complicated, but at the same time, they do it so almost effortlessly. You must have to work with them like forever to get something like that out of them, I would imagine, right?
I mean, definitely the training is challenging, but also a lot of it's the breeding, right? Same as with working dogs. A lot of it is what they're bred to do, and it's their natural inclination. You know, if I took a reining, and I've taken a reining horse and turned it into a barrel horse, and he did pretty okay, right? He was a 3D horse, but he's not going to be the same as my horse that was bred to run and wants. I mean, I was on him today, and he saw a barrel and he was like, let's go. You're fat and out of shape, sir. We are not doing this today.
I can tell Bill is trying to figure out what 3D means.
So in barrel racing, and this could be a whole hour-long conversation.
This has become so much fun. It went in a different direction I was expecting. It's always the best part about a podcast.
So they are divisions, right? So in a lot of competitive disciplines, you are divided into classes based upon your riding ability or how much money you've earned or how nice your horse is. But in barrel racing, it's everybody is in the same race. And most races, it's not hard and fast, but most are in a 4D structure. And most of the 4D structure is, let's say that the fastest time run out of everybody that ran the race was 15 seconds. The winner of the 2D is a half a second off of that. So it would be 15.5 seconds, or whoever's closest to that. The winner of the 3D is 1 second off of the fastest time. The winner of the 4D is 2 seconds off of the fastest time. So it's a way to level the playing field so that all levels of riders feel welcome to participate and everybody has a chance at winning what my friends call barrel racing bingo.
The first time I watched a friend of mine, her name's Meg, put all those things out into envelopes and try to explain who won what, I was like, what in the world what are all these D categories and what is going on right now? How'd that person that came in 15th place win something? Explain that to me again. I'm confused.
Well, so she just explained it to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to look at it the first time, and she had to explain it to me and make it make sense. And I was like, okay.
There you go.
Now I kind of.
So it is a bit of a bingo game, right? Because it's not simply that if you ran the 10th fastest time, but there was only 6 slots that were paid out, right? And you're like, why did the person that ran 2 seconds off win money and the 10th fastest time didn't?
Okay.
You know, if you're in the 1D, it's truly who's the best that's at the race that day. But the rest of it is a little bit of bingo. You're dependent upon how everybody in the 1D did.
Okay, tough question time.
Okay.
What is something you in the veterinary world would like people, the everyday public, to know about your job and the everyday kind of stresses and drama of the work? Because there's got to be a lot of stress. And what the everyday person that brings their dog or cat or animal in, what are ways they can make your day easier or things that they should understand you guys might be going through?
Great question. We truly care about you and your pet. We truly want the best for you. We are going to always offer you gold standard, and that's not about trying to make money off of you. We do understand that medicine is expensive. We're not going to judge you if you say, hey, I've got a budget I have to work with, and we're going to work with you on that number. But it is my responsibility, my due diligence to offer you gold standard for your pet. And then we work with you on what you can do. We understand that it's stressful, oftentimes scary, frustrating, and we're willing to empathize and sit with you in that discomfort. But please do not take your frustrations out on my staff. The only times we ever really, at least me, I'm very protective of my team. And as you know, Frank, I'm kind of a take no prisoners sort of person. And the only times I'll draw a hard line with my clients is when they are being rude or berating my staff, because it's hard enough on a day-to-day basis, the emotionality that we have to absorb for everyone, without the accusations or the negativity, right? You want to come in, you want to yell, you scream, you want to be sad, you want to cry, you want to hug it out together. We're there for that. You walk in the door and we can't accommodate a euthanasia, and you tell my receptionist, well, then it's going to be your fault when I have to put a bullet in their head.
Oh, God.
Those are the types of things that my team takes home and really struggles with.
Wow. Yeah, it's I know there's got to be a lot to it. That's a lot to digest.
Yeah, sorry, that was kind of a complicated answer.
No, it was a great answer. That's exactly what I was looking for. People don't often get to pull back the covering on a lot of professions, then understand the true stress and there's a beautiful side to everything, of course, but I think sometimes it's very important for the public who might not be in that world to get just a quick glimpse of this is some stuff worth thinking about every day, and what you might not realize is actually happening in the background.
Yeah. And we know that your pet is your priority and you need to be tended to immediately. And we want to be able to give you 100% immediately in a timely manner. And we have 30 pets coming at us at one time with that same need. And while I don't want to, say to people, it's not like bringing your car in for an oil change where it's like, we'll get to you when we get to you, right? There's a triage that happens as well. But, when you can have patience with us, please do, because at least on my team, and I'm again, having done relief work for many years, I've worked with many, many teams, and anybody who's in veterinary medicine generally is an empath. And if you know anything about psychology, right, empaths are people that they have a background that creates that empathy. And so they really absorb other people's emotions and they really are invested in what they do. And so we're doing everything we can to accommodate our clients and our patients. And, there's days where you've got the person who's upset and frustrated that has no real good reason to be. And then you have the client that's gotten pushed to the end of the line unfairly. And that's the person that brings in the pizza, right? And they're like, you're stuck here late. We figured you needed something to eat. And when we get those moments of kindness, it's like, oh yeah, there's so many good people out there to offset the negative energy, but that negative energy can really, you can really feel like you're drowning in it, for sure.
Yeah, this day and age, unfortunately, it's so easy to find the negative. And man, I'm like you. I'd rather kill people with kindness and love and all the good positive things.
Yeah, my expression is I'm always like, don't start none, won't be none.
I love that.
But if you start it, I will finish it. So, yeah, I'll kill you with kindness. But, if you come at me with some level of aggression,
You're so awesome. Oh, Lord.
So you were a young person that knew you wanted to grow up to be an animal doctor. For those that are listening that might also be young people that might want to go into that field, what advice do you have? What steps do they take?
First and foremost, go work in a practice, because I think most people want to become veterinarians, at least very early on, because I love animals and I love science and I want to heal animals. And that's a big part of the job, but the biggest part of the job is the people. And managing people's emotions and expectations, their finances sometimes, their anger, managing, if you're a medical director and in some other sort of management position, I manage the people on my team. I would say the biggest part of veterinary medicine is the people component. And I remember early in vet school, a lot of people in interview process, because I sat on the interview committee at Tufts, they were like, oh, I want to work with animals because I don't like people. And that gets really hard. So I think get into veterinary practice in whatever capacity, right? And because of liability reasons, that may simply be standing in the room and watching it all take place. But see what the day-to-day is like so you know if this is really something you want to do. Because going to college, getting into vet school, getting through vet school, getting through an internship or a residency if you decide to do that, and getting through the day-to-day stresses of veterinary medicine, it's worth it if you really want it, but know what you're getting into before you start that journey, because it's a lot of work.
I think that's excellent advice for anyone considering going into any of the helping professions, whether it's animals, whether it's people. You were exactly right when you said we enter these fields because we are empaths. And we go into it with this concept of what that work is going to be like. And it's not always a realistic concept. So sometimes being able to immerse yourself in different parts of that field and see the realities of different parts can help you better figure out for yourself which route in school you do want to go and want to devote your time and money and energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I did, we'd see people, there's kind of this running joke at Tufts. One year you'd have the really smart, all 4.0 GPA people who had limited clinical and practical experience. And then because they didn't have that experience, the next year the interview committee would be like, we need more people with practical experience. So they'd take all us, 3.6 losers that had lots of practical experience, but maybe we're not up to the rigor of the education, right? When you think like 3.6, that's pretty good. but at Tufts, that was kind of like, So it would kind of go back and forth because a big part of it is being able to keep up with the rigor of the education. And so, but you can have super smart people that get in there and they're like, wait a minute, not all of this is just about science and understanding physiology. And there's so much more that goes into the job than just the science itself.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Yeah. Tina, you're pretty awesome. If I haven't told you that recently, you're
pretty awesome.
You're a blessing. You're a huge blessing, and we really appreciate you taking the time to do all this and chat with us. And yeah, I can't wait to get you guys back down here again.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm sorry I couldn't make it down today. I was really looking forward to it, but my dog decided to have her third round of Happy Tail this week, and I was like, all right, guess we're going to take care of this.
Well, yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that, but yeah, Alligator time will be here soon enough. We'll get you back down here in the field.
Awesome.
Yeah, really appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time. Remind us again real quick the name of your side jam so we can send everybody there.
Oh, thank you so much. So Portia Luxe Boutiques, and it's Portia. It's named after my Sphinx cat. So Portia Luxe Boutique is the pre-loved luxury side business to support animals that need vet care, and Bespoke Firearms Consulting. That's my husband's business that I manage. He does firearms consulting for private owners. The other two are probably not worth sending the general public to, unless you're a veterinarian that needs relief coverage or consulting, management consulting. That's TAG Consulting and Veterinary Services.
Amazing. Yeah, if you can, if you think of it when we get off the air, send me links to all those, and I'll make sure they get in the notes with the podcast. That's
thank you.
Goodness gracious, I thought I did a lot of stuff.
You do.
Yeah, I really don't do that much in comparison to that. Holy moly! But thank you, Tina.
Like I said, I like staying busy. So thank you guys so much for having me and taking your time out of the day.
Oh, likewise. Thank you very much for chatting with us. We'll catch up with you soon.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
That lady's awesome. When we connected, a few months back, that her business, their organization has been a huge blessing. They took care of all of our medical equipment for last season's research, all of our, syringes, needles, vacuutators. It was awesome, man. That's
amazing because you go through a lot. Yeah, and that's a huge expense that they were willing to take for us, and they've been great volunteers. They've been a huge help. So yeah, it's goodness gracious, that lady wears some hats, doesn't she?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Not to mention her everyday job of the veterinary thing in general, which I had the longest explanation ever trying to explain the Game of Thrones thing. But I need to get that one out of my head because that's what I always do think that.
Okay.
That's where my mind goes. I'm like, how else do you say that? Because that's the perfect example of somebody that has a profession who's an expert at it, that has different pieces and parts of that. It reminds me of somebody in the military that's wearing all the different, the ribbons.
Right.
Because here's all the things I've mastered or been to and done.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there that can you compare that to? Is there anything out there? Give me something.
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I can't, not off the top of my head.
A wrestler who has all their wins on their little badge thing, and they walk, and the whole thing.
That's still just wins. That's not.
Yeah, it's not different.
Skills.
Yeah.
I mean, a black belt wears a black belt, but it's just for what he does. It's not for everything he's got a black belt in.
Sometimes you have like athletes that have like a varsity letter, but have different sports.
That would be
on the
similar.
Varsity letter.
Yeah, that would be similar.
Maybe.
I don't know. I digress.
Indeed.
There we go.
Elephant rhino.
Indeed.
All right, let's end this thing.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the EEARSS podcast produced by Terrier TV here at Titusville High School. I am Frank. That is Bill. That is Cindy. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would like to learn more about the research we're doing, the things we have going on, and all that good stuff, you can go over to EEARSS.org, EEARSS, and check out the things we're doing. We'll catch you all next week. Bye-bye.